English Listening Test. Part 2, designed for B2 learners. This test consists of 18 questions which are divided into 3 parts. I will give you a short instruction at the beginning of each part. Before we get started, take a pen and paper so you can take notes while listening. Are you ready? Let's get started. Part 1. Listen to the business news to practice and improve your listening skills. For questions 1 to 6, choose the correct answer.
The first item in the news today is the recent elections across the country. This was a crucial vote, which may dramatically change how the country develops over the coming years. Overall, a 54.5% voter turnout was registered. This represents an increase of 11% over the previous election and 6% above the average for the past 50 years. There has also been a slight change in demographics, with an increase in youth turnout in the 18 to 24 and 24 to 29-year-old brackets. Despite this increase, young people are still less likely to vote than older people. 84% of voters in the 70-plus age group came to the polling stations. Moving on, the global digital powerhouse ONK today posted quarterly results which were above forecast. Back in March, Tim Balling, CEO, issued a profit warning over fears that there would be losses following the recall of their leading product, the 40D device. The company posted quarterly revenue of $14.8 billion, which represents an increase of 11% from the same quarter a year ago. They also announced that they had sold 21 million 40D devices over the quarter. The company has provided the information that with this level of revenue, there will be a gross margin of 34 to 35%, ultimately leading to a $1.20 per share cash dividend awarded to shareholders. And in our final news item, we ask, will we soon be saying goodbye to coins and notes forever? The nationwide trend of using cashless payment options is increasing. There are several reasons for this development. A key reason for this is a growing interest in reducing the number of items people need to leave their homes with. As almost everyone carries a smartphone with them, and many people also have smartwatches, the ability to pay for things using one of these two technologies is particularly appealing. More and more retailers are accepting cashless payments, and in some cases they've stopped accepting cash altogether.
Part 2. Listen to someone getting advice from a friend to practice and improve your listening skills. For questions 1 to 6, choose the correct answer.
Hi, how are you? I haven't seen you in class for a while.
Good, thanks. You?
Great. As long as I don't think too hard about all the essays I have to write this term.
Yeah.
Hey, are you okay?
I have to admit, I'm struggling a bit. Maybe even a lot. I've not been sleeping well at all, and then I can't concentrate. And all these things are just going around and around in my head.
That doesn't sound good. So, you're sleeping badly and you can't concentrate. Is that all it is, do you think?
Well, if I'm honest, it's more than that. I'm starting to dread going outside. I find myself worrying about stupid things like what if I forget the way home? Or what if I go to class thinking it's Monday but it's Friday and I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time? It sounds even more stupid when I say it out loud. It took me 2 hours to leave the house today.
It doesn't sound stupid at all. It sounds a lot like me last year.
Really? But you're so together.
I've learned to be, but even I still have bad days. I used to have panic attacks and everything. When you were trying to leave the house today, how did you feel?
Like I couldn't breathe and my heart was going way too fast.
That sounds like a panic attack to me.
I thought I was going to die.
You'd be surprised how common they are. Loads of people have them. They just don't talk about it.
How did you get over them?
I talked to a doctor about it, and you should too, but I learned some practical things as well. Though they're easier said than done, and they're going to sound weird, so hear me out, okay?
Okay.
So, one thing I did was to try to reduce the power of the anxiety and the panic attacks when they came. So, and this may sound strange, at a time when you're feeling safe and okay, you do things that make your heart start racing faster and your breathing speed up. Like spinning around on a chair until you're dizzy or hyperventilating so you're short of breath.
That sounds awful.
It is, but it means you get used to the symptoms, so they feel less scary.
Right.
Then you have to deliberately do the things that usually make you feel panic. So, if it's going to class on Monday and being scared you've got the wrong day, on Monday you go to class. If you let the anxiety control you by making you stay at home, it just makes it worse the next time you do have to go out.
And what did you do if a panic attack came anyway?
I had a distraction plan. So, I walked everywhere instead of taking the bus because the exercise helped, but also I did things like count trees or read cars or something. Whatever it was didn't matter, as long as I had something else to focus on.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. I thought...
Part 3. Listen to the film reviews to practice and improve your listening skills and be ready to answer the true or false questions.
Obviously, this is the sequel to Fun in the City, which is a film I didn't like, so it's fair to say my expectations were low. So you could say I wasn't disappointed, as it met my expectations. It was awful. It was so awful. I'd rather not spend any more time on it by talking about it, but that wouldn't be a film review, and I think I owe you all a review to save you wasting your money going to see it. So, it starts with this big wedding scene, and I won't go into why, but the whole scene is just there so they can make this one joke. It's not even a funny joke, it's just terrible. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the film. Anyway, it starts there, Then, instead of the characters and the plot staying in New York where the original film was set, one of them wins a ticket to India and decides to take all her friends. It's what directors do when they've run out of ideas. Let's take our characters on tour. Anyway, they gossip, cry, and shop, and they repeat this until the end. No real people would ever act like this. I didn't have any sympathy for their problems or even care what happened to them. Don't go and see it. You'll only encourage them to make another sequel. The world doesn't need 3 of these films. Please save your money and go and see the other big film this week, Twilight Mirror. So, if you're a fan of the book it's based on, you're probably as excited as I was about this. For everyone else, this is a film fans have been waiting 10 years to see. I have to confess that I was a bit nervous. I'd seen the posters and they didn't look right. I didn't love them at all. And I wasn't sure about the actors they cast either. So I went in not sure what to expect, but I loved it. One thing I liked about it was the pace. They went backwards and forwards between the real world and the computer world, and it worked well. The special effects brought the computer world to life and I believed in it. But more than that, I felt emotionally connected to the story and the characters. The whole film worked on so many levels. It reminded me of going to the cinema as a child. How much fun that was. I can't recommend it enough.
Don't forget to share your score in the comments section. If you didn't watch the first part of this level, you can find the link in the description. We will upload more listening tests soon, so don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. See you in our upcoming videos.